We're going to talk about circles and triangles today. What can you do with a circle and a triangle and a square and put it together and make something really cool? So we're going to talk about circles, triangles, do some warm-ups, and talk about lighting and maybe some color mixing. So you want to get a pencil, piece of charcoal, or colored oil pastel out, and your primary colors of acrylic paint with a brush. Big brush is better. Big brush, big fat brush, some watercolor paper or your sketchbook, and water, paintbrush. I said that right? Okay, let's start. Let's get something with some color. You can use crayons or you can use an oil pastel, whatever you want. A piece of charcoal works too, or even a pencil. We're just going to warm up with some squiggles, some circle focus using my shoulder to make the circles. See, I'm not using my hand too much. And then I change how I'm holding my crayon as well. So play around just to get warmed up and loosened up, because what we're going to be working on is a lot of circles today for a little while. Do a couple lines of those. If you want to change colors, you can. Notice how I overlap them. Then just make some circles. Again, using my whole arm. I'm not trying to make, see, I'm not moving my fingers at all. Now I'm going really fast. I sped it up. So try some circles. Now try some triangles. Say, what the heck are we going to make? We're going to make something really cool out of these. But I want you to see that circles, triangles, and squares, just warming up, and how you combine them can really make a nice piece of art. And today we're just going to focus on a circle and a triangle. Throw in some more. Alright, once that's done, I move to my oil pastel. And again, remember, using my whole arm, just kind of making a circle and a triangle. And when you stack it like this, watch what you can do. Using my whole arm, just keep it loose. See, I didn't even erase anything. So those are two organic or geometric shapes. And now I'm going to make it slightly more organic and wobbly. And you'll have a pear with a cast shadow. Okay. And think about my light source. So when I'm painting, I'm always going to think about my light source and the area around it. And that's why I gave the edge. This is what we're going to paint. So I'm going to take that little drawing we just did, use my primary colors plus white, a nice big flat brush with some choppy brush strokes, thinking about my light source, and let's paint. So my light is going to be yellow. I just want you to use a warm color, a yellow, wherever the light's going to hit. Now you always want to alternate light, dark, light, dark. So if the light's hitting the left side of the pear, you're going to want the right side of the pear to be darker. Okay, so I'm coming in with my cool color. Cool colors are your shadows, and I'm including my cast shadow, or the shadow that's being cast onto the table. And then the background. Remember I said light, dark, light, dark? So, and I'm going to let them blend a little bit. Each time I dip my paintbrush, I'm cleaning it off. And I want to work, then I'm throwing in some white, and I want to work so that the paint is loose and it stays wet, so I can do a little bit of blending. Okay, so thinking the light versus the dark, adding a little bit of more color in there so they blend a little bit and it gets a little greener. Now the white's going to kind of make it a little more opaque, and I'm mixing, keeping my light source, keeping the dark side on the right and the light side on the left, and coming back in and painting that background. I had some green left on my paintbrush, and I move it around and kind of paint that background. I add that color. Now I'm adding some red in there, and that's going to really darken it as I mix the red and the blue, and again keeping my light source strong and letting the colors mix a little bit. And I'm going to end up with a really nice little pear with a nice strong light source, blending the colors as needed, keeping the paint wet, and keeping my brush clean as I work. Keeping it round, giving it volume. And again, the light is a warmer color. Ooh, my finger. You can finger paint too. The light is a warmer color, and I'm going from, you can see the background is dark, and then the light side of the pear, then the pear is dark, and then the background is light. And I have a nice little pear drawing just based on that circle and triangle. Now you try it.